From Main and Gervais, ABC Columbia News.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for ABC Columbia News at 12:30. We are live from Main and Gervais. I'm Rochelle Dean. Right now at this hour, SCE&G says there are still counties that are activating in an operating condition, one which is the most severe. Teams are going door to door, searching homes, families who have been displaced, and those that may have been lost. Governor Nikki Haley just wrapping up a briefing with the state emergency officials. We will get back to that in just a few moments to explain a little bit of what Governor Nikki Haley had to say during that press conference with emergency management. Now, search and rescue teams are going door to door, as we mentioned, and we have crews that are out as they are going door to door, checking on those residents and those businesses. The City of Columbia Police and Fire Departments in Richland County Sheriff's Department, as well as SLED, have now started this operation. It will also include overall welfare checks and stability assessments of buildings, homes, as well as other structures after this flood damage. Crews will mark the front door of those homes with bright fluorescent orange X's, and once inside a residence or building has been checked. After the rescue, citizens will be taken out to the flood zone in military vehicles and then driven by bus to designated safe zone shelters located in that area. Now, this is, of course, a voluntary evacuation, but authorities warn not leaving a location that can create a dangerous situation for citizens as well as first responders. It has been advised that citizens should only take the essential items that they need during those rescue missions, such as vital prescriptions or anything that you can bring in a small overnight bag. Now, pets are available to bring with you, but they say they only have pets in cages that can be transported with each citizen. And many houses still underwater this afternoon, families devastated. Here's video from our Ben Hoover as he went around Lake Catherine, Rockbridge area. This is the same area where search and rescue crews are going door to door today to check on those residents as well as some of the businesses. And you can see the water there just overwhelming a lot of that area. ABC Columbia has also learned that 9 people have died now as a result of this historic flood. At this hour, more than 500 roads remain closed, 100 of them right here in Columbia. Officials are reminding people to stay off of those roads unless it is an emergency. And with this catastrophic flooding, now that we have learned that that updated number on some of those fatalities is now 9, SCEMD officials say that 9 weather-related deaths have been reported. One of those, we are learning, was a SCDOT worker. He is among those casualties. DOT officials confirm 45-year-old Timothy Wayne Gibson died yesterday in floodwaters on Garners Ferry Road in Columbia. Now, while overseeing work, authorities say he was trying to help other people get out of businesses and residents there when he succumbed to the flooding waters. Several communities are under a boil water advisory and thousands without water. ABC Columbia's Beth Russo has the very latest.
Richland County officials say that the county is still in a state of emergency as floodwaters are expected to continue rising. Sheriff Leon Law is calling this an ongoing situation and that they don't know that the worst is over. And so that is what they are preparing for. They're preparing for the worst. Officials say that the top priority at this point is restoring water for residents and hospitals. Authorities say that they are currently bringing in water from outside the area to local hospitals. They're providing for 3 hospitals in the area.
We are providing those to 3 hospitals. Richmond Memorial, Baptist, and also Providence. Not sure how long we can sustain that. Obviously, we'll sustain it as long as we can.
The city is working on restoring that, but they say that residents should be prepared to be without water for 3 to 4 days. So later today, we are expecting to get an update from the City of Columbia about restoring water. Currently, parts of the USC campus are without water. They have brought in porta potties to help those living in dorms so that they have somewhere to use the bathroom. A majority of the downtown area remains without water. And for those who do have water, there are boil water advisories in effect for the City of Columbia, West Columbia, Columbia, Springdale, the city of Casey, the town of Chapin, and Sumter County. Now, for those of you without water, Sheriff Leon Lott says they will be setting up 2 distribution points throughout the day. They're working on those right now. The locations are expected to be at Richland Mall and Lower Richland High School. We'll have updates on our Facebook page, our Twitter, and abccolumbia.com about when those will be opened and when water is available. For now, reporting in Richland County, Beth Russo, ABC Columbia News.
And as you just heard Beth mention, their emergency officials are discussing evacuating area hospitals, possibly due to the lack of water, the clean water at this area. And some hospitals been with fire crews, you can see there on the scene from this morning, where they were pumping water into those hospitals to try to avoid some of those evacuations. A spokesperson for the hospital saying the staff is still trying to decide exactly what to do to give the best care they can for their patients, and continuing to respond to hundreds of rescues, accidents, as well as calls for assistance. Well, let's get a check on exactly what we can expect for the remainder of the day. Appears that we are not out of the woods just yet. Let's turn things over to meteorologist Jonathan Kennedy with more. Good afternoon, Jonathan.
And good afternoon, Rochelle. Yes, obviously we're maintaining to keep a focus on this weather and see what is occurring. We're continuing to see rain, and right now it's been a cool day for us so far. Temperatures right around 60 degrees, and some of our spots not reporting. Obviously, a lot of issues going on across the state, and some of those temperatures not coming in with some of the data getting disrupted. But one thing that is consistent is the radar, with the rainfall coming our way. Now, the good news is we were seeing some very heavy rain this morning, but that has been kind of shut down a little bit. That system sliding up the coast, so the western extent of that kind of that water hose effect that we were seeing over the weekend is starting to break down and kind of lose its connection with that main source of the moisture, which is obviously what we need to see, because we need a break from this rain. Now, there are a few watches and warnings I do want to make you aware of. We're seeing the flood watch has now been expired. We saw it end at noon today, but we do have some flood warnings for all these counties in green. These are mainly for all the rivers in those areas. They're going to be at or above flood stage at least through the next couple of days. So something to be aware of. Anywhere near river, anywhere near creeks, you're likely to still see flooding because we're continuing to add rain. That rain has to go somewhere. Now, the tan areas, which includes Richland County and all the surrounding counties, we are under a wind advisory until 5 o'clock today. But for breezy conditions, loose soil could lead to some more trees coming down. So look for temperatures in the low to mid 60s this afternoon. Rain should be slowing down, but as of right now, any additional rain, regardless of its intensity, is still going to pose some more threats for us, Rochelle.
Indeed it will. We'll continue to monitor those conditions. Thank you, Jonathan. Well, the Red Cross tells us that they have shelters open across the Carolinas. You can visit redcross.org or download the American Red Cross Emerge NCY app to find which shelter is nearest you. Well, it has been a rough evening and morning for area residents this afternoon. Many first responders still assessing situations throughout the Midlands, but it was overwhelming yesterday in the neighborhood of near Gills Creek. Our Ben Hoover was there on the scene just last night.
This is the scene of the south side of Lake Catherine. Kilburn Road is Kilburn River. Homes on roads like Rickenbacker, Milford, and Burwell are submerged, everything but rooftops. How'd you all get out?
We woke up this morning and I had just a sick feeling that we lived near the creek and it rained all night.
Jeff Grayton's home is underwater. He and his family got out, barely.
And in 10 minutes, the water rose about 2 feet.
With his family safe, Jeff headed back into his neighborhood on a boat with others to rescue his neighbors.
I've come back since then. I probably helped rescue about 25 to 30 people out of homes in a boat.
In a boat?
Yeah, I was in a boat. A friend of mine had a boat, and we were all up and down Burwell hollering at people to come out on their porch if they wanted to be rescued. And we took at least 25 children, dogs, cats, and took about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
As far as neighbors are concerned, everyone got out, but one elderly couple.
I tried twice. We left, told him he needed to get out, that his life was in danger. He said, I'm not leaving. And then we came back a second time and pulled up into his house. I got out of the boat, and I was up to my neck in water. And I walked in his house, and I said, you need to go. And he said, I'm not leaving. I said, well, I think you're making a very bad mistake. But he's still in there.
Finally, word from another neighbor. The elderly couple was rescued. With choppers in the air and boats in the water, one of which allowed me to ride down Burwell. My cell phone camera capturing this. Home submerged. Everything inside destroyed.
That was our Ben Hoover reporting. Well, up next, the very latest as we continue our coverage of this devastating floods here in South Carolina. That's coming up next right here on ABC Columbia News at 12:30, live from Main and Gervais. Welcome back to ABC Columbia News at 12:30. We have images coming into our newsroom from across the state this afternoon. Governor Nikki Haley just wrapping up a briefing with state emergency officials. Our Jennifer Reddy was at that briefing and spoke with Governor Nikki Haley. We join Jennifer live now from the South Carolina Emergency Management Division. Good afternoon, Jennifer.
Yeah, guys, in Governor Nikki Haley's press conference that just wrapped up a few moments ago, she said there are two main concerns today. That would be the lack of water and also the road safety. She says that now the state has up to 9 weather-related fatalities. That includes 5 drownings and 4 traffic-related fatalities. Also, there are still several roads closed across the state, about 550, and here in the Midlands, that still includes 100 roads and bridges that are closed. They are hoping the priority will be to open interstates first, some of which could be open today, but others could be later this week. As for those water concerns, she says that there are 40,000 people in South Carolina without water right now. They said they are working with Walmart, who has donated 80,000 bottles of water. They're working to get several distribution centers up and running in the state, 4 of which they hope to get open in Richland County later today. Now, other news, Governor Nikki Haley also today signed a verbal major disaster declaration, which basically expedites the process for federal assistance. That money has not yet been granted yet, but if it is, it goes towards individual assistance, public assistance, as well as hazard contamination. Now, guys, although she says we are working towards the recovery stage of things, this is still a very dangerous situation. They are reminding people to continue to stay off the roads because a road could look perfectly fine, but you could get on it and it could buckle from underneath you and collapse. They say they've seen that several times. The National Guard is still up and running very actively. They've increased to 1,300 National Guard, where yesterday we were just at 600. The governor says she also, just before her press conference, received a call from President Barack Obama and the First Lady, and they expressed their concerns and prayers for the citizens of South Carolina. We'll have more about this coming up tonight at 6. Live from EMD, Jennifer Reddy, ABC Columbia News.
Still have a lot of work yet to be done. Thanks, Jennifer. Well, images still coming into our newsroom from across the state. This is video coming out of Berkeley County this afternoon. A mother in Hugie holds her infant daughter as a Coast Guard crew hoists them from their flooded home. Amazing video there. And take a look at this. Widespread flooding has caused some coffins to rise from grounds at cemeteries. Alan Staley took video of the 2 coffins protruding from the ground at the Samaria Baptist Church in Springfield. There were also reports of similar incidents taking place in Ridgefield. Well, meteorologist Jonathan Kennedy has been tracking the latest conditions right outside and has the very latest. That's coming up next on ABC Columbia News at 12:30. We're live from Main and Gervais.
Welcome back to ABC Columbia News at 12:30, and on this Monday afternoon, obviously a lot of news and a lot of things revolving around the weather as we head into a new work week, but many people not at work today because of all those high floodwaters. Now, right now, current conditions are improving, 70 degrees, still seeing light rain, variable wind at 6 miles per hour, and obviously it is very humid considering all the moisture that we've collected over the last 4 or 5 days. Now, satellite and radar still showing some showers moving across the area, not nearly as intense as what they were early this morning. We were seeing some really good downpours. If you were watching us during Good Morning Columbia, we're seeing good downpours then, but since then it has slowed down. This rain pattern has kind of broken up just a little bit, and that's exactly what we need to see. The flood watch has expired for us. That was in effect until noon, and the Weather Service has not put out any new information for us. That's good news. We do have a lot of flood warnings still in effect, but I'll get to more of that in just a second. Current conditions, mid to upper 60s, low 70s for us locally, and that'll be the case throughout much of the afternoon. I don't see much variation in the temperatures as we head through the day today. Now, the big issue has been this fire hose of moisture coming in from the Atlantic. You notice this eastern side here moving to the north towards the Outer Banks. The western side kind of staying put. It's going to get cut off from that moisture, and that is exactly what we need to see. This is great news for us here. Still seeing some rain, but that should be slowing down considerably over the next few hours. watches and warnings. Notice the green counties, that's areas with a flood warning. Now, that's not necessarily the whole county, but areas that do have a flood warning. We are seeing a lot of the rivers in these areas see very intense flooding. The areas with the beige color, that's including our counties, but it's below the flood warning, obviously. But we're looking at a wind advisory until 5 o'clock. So still some things to worry about. We're not out of the way just yet. Low pressure causing the system to lift to the north. We're kind of seeing the latter stages of this rain, thankfully, and we probably see a few light showers throughout the afternoon, but by later on tonight should be a much drier forecast coming our way. And the good news is once this rain moves out, it's going to be gone. We're looking at sunshine, temperatures back closer to normal, mid-70s for the midweek forecast. It should be seeing sunshine with highs near 80 by the end of the week. And we'll have more updates on this flooding coverage as we return. Stay with us. We're live from Main and Gervais.
Welcome back. Even record-setting floods can't stop love. A couple who planned a wedding in Charleston almost didn't make it, but a silver lining. Victoria Hansen has the story.
Most downtown plans went down the drain, but not for this couple from Kansas City.
If anyone in the area can actually marry us, that would be greatly appreciated.
A public plea on live TV.
Hi, this is Brittany.
And then the call.
I'm getting married.
We're getting married.
A local councilman, a lifesaver for a couple whose minister, like so many, could not make it downtown.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
And
so
make the
much.
best of a bad situation, right?
Food, we're just putting together pieces of the puzzle as best we can. No hair and makeup, so we're just kind of doing our own for that. No photography.
Wait, photographer found on social media.
And I was like, wow, it's raining on their wedding day. Not only raining, but like flooding.
Congratulations, Uncle Jason and Aunt Brittany. Yay!
Of course, the bridesmaids are there. The groomsmen
on the Isle of Palms couldn't get here, so worked it out, and they got so far, and a military Humvee picked them up and drove them 1.5 miles to get into the city.
Everyone's ready. With a little help, even the groom.
I'm not amazed at how Charleston's reached out, but I'm amazed at how it came together as quickly as it did.
A quiet here comes the bride.
I ask now, who gives this beautiful woman to be married today?
Her mother and I.
A tear.
Until we are parted by death.
And a nudge.
Brittany.
Rain on a wedding day.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I be the first and proudest to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Jason Podak.
That overflows with love.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thankfully, this afternoon, the rain is breaking up. Expect a few light rain showers through the afternoon. And finally, once this rain moves out, some much-needed sunshine coming our way for the rest of the 7-day, Rochelle.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan. And thank you. You've been watching ABC Columbia News at 12:30. Thanks for making us your choice for news. We'll see you right back here for the news at 6. And as always, you can stay up to date online at abccolumbia.com. Have a good day. Stay dry.